Mr Speaker, New Zealand First has expressed concern about a number of amendments to road user charges made during this term of Parliament. These bills seek to correct some of the stuff-ups made so far. We will support the bills on that basis as far as they go. But there are many more stuff-ups that are not being addressed in these bills at all. New Zealand First has concerns for the 22,000 motor homeowners registered with the Motor Caravan Association, although the total number affected is, of course, many more than that. Vehicle operators in that category justifiably oppose having their road user charges increased, mostly doubled and sometimes trebled, because of new bandwidths and maximum permissible on-road weight charges when their weight is constant and in most cases considerably less than their maximum chassis weight. There are a great number of motorhomes that are built on chassis that have a greater gross vehicle mass rating than the actual on-road weight of the motorhome. This matter should have been attended to as part of this particular stuff-ups correction bill, or bills, so that the owners of these vehicles would not be required to purchase road user licences for a greater laden mass than the actual laden mass. The purpose of road user charges legislation is to continue the system by opposing charges on heavy vehicles and certain other vehicles for their use of the roads that are in proportion to the costs that the vehicles generate. That's the whole thrust of the system. That's not what's happening with these motorhomes, and they are suffering huge and unjustifiable increases in charges as a result. There should be a provision to enable motorhome-type vehicles, which are never likely to operate at near the maximum permitted laden weight, to be assigned a road user weight that would be sufficient to cover their actual laden mass. An example is a motorhome with a gross vehicle mass of 12,000 kilograms, but an actual on-road mass of, say, 8,500 kilograms. Under the 2010 road user charges, their charge was $120.24. Under the 2012 changes, the owner is now required to purchase road user charge licences for 12 tonnes at a cost of $246.26. Now that, of course, is an increase of $126.02, or in other words, an increase of over 104%. We in New Zealand First think that's absolutely outrageous. The requirement to have all heavy vehicles operating with a road user charge licence to cover the maximum permissible laden weight as the lesser of the rated gross vehicle mass, or the vehicle's dimension and mass, referring to Rule 2002, has resulted in some excessive increases in costs to the owners. And that should have been put right in this amending legislation, and it has not been attended to. The greater percentage of private motorhome owners in New Zealand are retirees, as you would expect. These people have limited income and in many cases will not easily be able to absorb such large increases in their costs. This amending legislation should have included a provision to allow motorhomes to have a road user charge licence weight allocated that covers the actual on-road mass of the vehicle. The current regime, which captures motorhomes and hugely increases their road user charges liability, is grossly unfair and should have been addressed as one of the government's many stuff-ups where road user charges legislation has been concerned. Although these bills are supportable as far as they go, New Zealand First places on record our strong objection to the way motorhome operators have been treated, not even considered as part of these amendments, which we think they should certainly have been. I'm glad to see that since I made my first reading speech on this issue, the Labour Party has adopted New Zealand First policy on the issue, and I congratulate them for doing that. We're always willing to share our policies with sympathetic other parties. I now call upon the National Government to do the same.
Call Chris Ockenvold.
Mr. Speaker,